Hello, 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 everybody, everybody, everybody. Good evening. Good evening, good evening. Okay, I'm going to give everybody a minute to get here. All right, giving you a minute to get here. Figure out that I'm live. And we're going to, oh, goodness. Or we're not. What in the world is going on with my stand? I don't know. So sorry. So sorry, y'all. So sorry. Why isn't my stand standing up higher? There we go. 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 Okay. In fact, we're gonna what is some days things work in life and some days they don't, you know? It's just kind of the way it is. Okay. All right. So I think I pretty much have everybody focused on me. I think. Feel like Tupac. All eyes on me. All right. So, good evening, everyone. Sorry I'm coming late. I am late. I'm real late. Today was just a crazy day. It was a crazy day, and my son had 7-on-7. And then we just hung out on the field, and there was dinner, and my daughter came in from a golf tournament at 9 o'clock, so it was just all the things, right? Like that happens, right? Some days it's all the things. And so probably nobody who was looking for me is tuned in now because, right, I come on normally at 9:30, and then I want to apologize to all of you who are catching me on TikTok and who are catching me on Insta and who are catching me on YouTube. I want to apologize to all of you because I've been MIA for the past couple days, right? Normally I'm here every night, consistent. I've been MIA for the past couple days. But where I was I was on Facebook, and I've been doing some of my messages, some of my lives in unconventional places, didn't have all my stands, didn't have all my phones with me. And so I ended up only going live on Facebook because I can download my live off Facebook. So if you want to see what I've been up to the past couple days where I seemed like I wasn't making any content, but I really was, and I will upload that onto YouTube. I will upload all of my content onto YouTube. But remember, you can catch me on all platforms at Texan Tish Tillis. Okay, Texan Tish Tillis on all 4 platforms: YouTube, Insta, Facebook, and TikTok. Okay, I love my talkers, y'all. I love my TikTok people. I love my TikTok people because y'all are just, you're so real, and you give love, and you have no problem giving love, and you have no problem interacting. So I have special love for my TikTok people. I love all of you, all of you. But TikTok is just like, give it to me, give it to me. Okay, so anyway, if you want to see what you missed, you can head on over to Facebook and catch everything there. Okay? So without more ado, I don't have a lot for you tonight. I unfortunately I don't have a lot for you tonight. I'm a little frazzled, a little tired, got up at 5:30 a.m., have been going all day, and I'm a little tired. So I'm of course at my best when I'm a little bit more well rested. But this is what I do want you to get a hold of quickly is self-doubt. Okay, we're going to talk very briefly about self-doubt. Now, self-doubt is a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. Very near and dear to my heart. And one of the reasons for that is because, as you all know, if you follow me, I went through 4 years of depression. I went through 4 years of depression. A mother of 5 children, 4 years of depression, which means I had a problem getting out of bed. I had a problem turning lights on. I had a problem with anyone looking at me. I had a problem with the idea of leaving my house was almost too much for me to handle. I was filled with self doubt. Depression, there's a lot that goes into it. But to me, at the very core of depression is self doubt. You're doubting yourself. You're doubting what you thought. Hi. You're doubting, we're talking about self doubt. Okay. You're doubting what you thought you knew about yourself, what you thought, the person who you thought you were. You saw yourself as one person, right? And then now, excuse me, you're seeing yourself as somebody else. And then those feelings build up and fear comes in. And then it intensifies the feeling of, am I enough? Can I really do this? You start doubting things that I was a mom. I am a mom, but that was what I hung my hat on. That was my main thing, being a mom, being a childcare facility owner, and children, and I started to doubt, can I parent my kids? Wouldn't they be better off maybe with somebody else? Maybe they would just be better, if I wasn't there, um can I cook dinner? After X amount of days of not cooking dinner, can I even cook? I don't even know if I remember how to cook. Just crazy, crazy things. See, the thing is, your mind is so powerful. And it's something we're not taught in school. And in my opinion, it's something that needs to be taught in school. We need to have classes that teach about your mind because your mind powers everything. Like I like to tell my kid who plays football, I have one kid who got a scholarship to play football in college. And he's already graduated. I'm that old. And then I have another kid, my youngest son, who is playing ball. He's a little phenom. And I always tell him, you've got to wear your helmet. And the reason you have to wear your helmet is because you have to protect your mind, because your mind controls everything else in your body. Think about it. Your mind controls your respiratory system. You don't have to tell yourself, breathe, 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 blink your eyes, blink your eyes, blink your eyes. Heartbeat, 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 heartbeat. No, you don't have to do any of that during the day because your mind controls everything. It is the control center for it all. Okay? It controls your movements, your heart rate, it controls your bladder, it controls everything, it controls everything. And so, one of the things that I feel we need to be taught in school, of course, in school, they don't want you to think for yourself. They want you to become little automatons, right? They want you to follow the script. They want you to grow up to be a worker bee. They do not want entrepreneurs. Okay, that's not what they want. So they don't teach you about the power of the mind and how the mind can be trained. Of course, in school, what are they doing? They're training your mind, right? They're training your mind so that when you hear a bell, I read something the other day about how much schools are like prisons. And they took photos and compared schools, the typical school, to a prison. And it looked just like a prison. And then you think about it, there's a bell that tells you when you can eat lunch, right? There's a bell every time a class is over, right? Think about how closely, then you get an hour outside, just like you would if you were locked up, right? Okay. All right. The barbershop fiend. All right, I see you. So it is so vitally important that we realize that from the time of birth, we are trained, our minds are trained, right? So that we can perform in a certain way. And what they don't teach us in school is how to be confident, how to have self confidence, right? You're always being put down if you didn't get that grade, or if you color outside the lines, right? Or if you need to bounce when you sit so you can focus instead of sitting perfectly still. They train everything that is individualistic out of us. And so we are trained, our minds are trained. And when we grow up, it's no wonder that so many of us suffer from self doubt, from a lack of confidence, because that's not what was instilled in us. We were not praised when we went and got it and did it on our own at school, were we? What do? You get detention, right? You take some initiative. You want to suggest something different. You want something more than little sheets that are handed out, right? For for you to work on, right? That's why people are pulling their kids out of school and homeschooling them at phenomenal numbers right now, because they want their children to think outside the box. They want their children to smell fresh air and see insects and learn what it's like to go on field trips, which they've cut out. I mean, they've cut out art, they've cut out PE for the most part, they've cut out reset, they've cut out so much out of the typical American school. And so children are they're growing up with parents that are ever increasingly busy. They're growing up during their formative years in daycare, where often, y'all, I ran a child care facility. I don't, I did it right because I was nationally accredited. I don't want to tell you what they do in most child care facilities with your children. I don't want to tell you. You don't want to know. So I'm not going to tell you because I don't want you to have that burden. I don't want you to have that burden. But safe to say, children are growing up with less and less and less autonomy and less people to hear them and listen to them and mental stimulation. And so children are growing up. We have an epidemic right now of children unaliving themselves, don't we? It's at epidemic rates. And do you know why children are unaliving themselves? At the root of it, yes, we could say because of bullying and cyberbullying and all that is at an all-time high. But at the very root of it, it's self-doubt. That means that there's something that someone can say to our children outside of our home, outside of the most important people in their lives, their mother, their father, their siblings. There's something that somebody out there can say to them that makes them have self-doubt to the point that they question everything, to the point that they don't know who they are, to the point that they don't love themselves anymore after a period of time, to the point that they just want to escape and they unalive themselves. Self-doubt. Let me tell you, a lot of you who are watching this are probably younger, but I'm 51 years old, okay? So I was born in 1974. And let me tell you something, back in the day, we were tough. You got bullied. I have a scar, a lifelong scar, 51 years old, still here on my hand, where Chris Daly, I remember the kid's name. I was like in kindergarten or second grade or something. I remember this kid's name. And he looked like, no offense or anything, but he looked like Frankenstein. He was a very large boy, and he liked me. And I'm saying his name because this was 150,000 years ago. And he was only in second grade. I don't know where he is, what's going on with him anymore. But anyway, I remember his name because he liked me, but he would, push me down into the pavement. I'd cry and then I'd tell, and the teachers dealt with him and everything. And no, he didn't care. His parents didn't care. And so he kept on beating me up, right? But I mean, I have a lifelong scar. I mean, I had bruises and everything else. It was horrible. And I had to go to school with this kid every day. But you know what? My dad raised me. Okay. that some may find uncomfortable and has been restricted. Reason violates community guidelines. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I have violated community guidelines. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to. And I guess somebody reported me. It's okay. I'ma still keep it going. So if y'all can't see me on TikTok now, then head on over to YouTube or Insta. Okay. But anyway, point is, thank God my dad instilled self-confidence in me. And so even though I was going through the situation I was going through at school, my spirit wasn't broken. But I can imagine with what I went through, a lot of children who maybe were raised differently would have had a really difficult time going to school every day. Okay, so what is the point I'm trying to make? My point I'm trying to make, and I'm sorry for anybody who may be missing this on TikTok, because good points are being made here. Um, but my point I'm trying to make is we can suffer and struggle with self doubt. And when we do, it affects everything. It clouds our judgment and it can become an elephant that's in the room. Maybe you feel like you're cute or you got a new hairstyle or maybe some new lipstick or a new outfit or something, and you're feeling pretty confident. And you go into work and somebody says to you, "Oh, girl, that is not your color," and then walks off. And then that person casually threw a side comment, which was, not nice, but, they weren't trying to destroy you. But now you question everything. Well, if this wasn't, I loved the way this looked on me, this outfit looked on me. And they said that it's not my color. Does that mean I don't know how to pick out? Does that mean all of my outfits don't look right on me? Does that mean my hair doesn't look right? One of the reasons, because remember, I focus everything on the topic of success. Success in whatever field it is that you're in whatever it is that you're engaged in or that you're doing. One of the reasons people do not become successful is self doubt. They have a dream, they have a goal, but they doubt that they'll ever be able to reach it. They doubt that they have the skills or the training or the charisma to achieve what they do. They doubt when people talk to them and they share their precious dream with someone and somebody says, "What are you talking about? You're a janitor. What on earth makes you think that you can become a pilot? What do the two have to do with each other? Where did you even get that idea? That's so crazy." And who often are the people that put that self doubt into us? The people that often are the people that put that self doubt into us are the people who are closest to us, the people who have the most familiarity with us. That's why you have to be careful about allowing people to become too familiar with you. Because at some point, you may decide that you want to become brand new. You want to switch it up. You want to have a new identity. By the way, we all have the right to be somebody different. You have the right to wake up tomorrow morning as a school teacher, let's say, and decide that you want to become an engineer. You don't know anything about being an engineer. It just sounds cool. And you decide you want to be one. And they make some good money, you heard. And you want to design some stuff. You have the right to pursue that dream unapologetically. You don't have to describe why you want to be an engineer to anybody. You don't have to make excuses for, well, things have been going this way the past couple of years. And you don't have to make any kind of excuse to anyone. You decide you want to be an engineer, period, point blank, period, poo. You're going to do the research. You're going to find out how to fund it. You're going to find out what schools to go to. And you're going to go ahead and do it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people think of you. It doesn't matter what people know of you. You can be whoever you want. But the problem is self-doubt creeps in. People say, you know what, I am a teacher, and what do I know about being an engineer? And is that even realistic? I'm already getting ready to turn 40, and that means, I'd have to do 3 or 4 more years of school. And where am I going to get the funding from or the time? You know what? Let me tell you something. This is what I think about all the time when I think about success. I think about people who come here to America from other countries. From other countries. They don't speak English. They don't even speak English. You check in with them in 2 years and they own a store. They own some kind of business. They've been here 2 years. They came without the language. They came without any of that. And in 2 years, they own a store. Okay? They put their kids through Ivy League colleges because in the next 10 years, they've accrued enough money to be able to do that. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing to me always how people from other countries can come here and get that done, get the thing done. They can support one another and get it done. And we who are from America oftentimes can't do the same thing. What is the difference? They don't suffer from self-doubt. When you talk to people from other countries who have come here and they are successful, they don't suffer from self-doubt. You know why? Because the only thing they see is it has to get done. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. If I want to eat, if I want to have a roof over my head, if I want my children to have an opportunity that I didn't have, which they always want, then I better get the thing done. They don't take the time to sit around and play victim and wallow in fear and self-doubt. They just get it done. They just get up early in the morning and they do the same thing day in and day out. They have a skill or they get a skill. They come up with a business. They come up with a business plan. They figure out how to get suppliers and they get the thing done. They don't complain about the hours. They just do it. And I really think that all of us can learn a lot from that. Just do it. Don't agonize over it. Don't worry about what your parents are going to think about what it is that you want to do. A lot of us don't get the thing done because we're scared of what our parents are going to say. We're scared of what our relatives are going to think about us. We're scared about what our friends are going to say when they find out that we want to become a skydiver, maybe. What? Oh, that's so stupid. Like a skydive. What are you talking about? How realistic is that? Too many of us allow somebody else's narrative to dictate our story. Listen, you have a very short time on this earth. I don't know how long you have, but I can tell you that it seems like it might be shorter and shorter as time goes on. You have a short time on this earth. You have one life to live. You better get out there and live it. You better do the things. What do I always say? I don't have a bucket list. I'm out here living my best life every single day. You better believe that. I'm out here living it. And if you don't like it, sorry, not sorry. It's mine to live. I worked hard for it to get to where I am, to have the pleasures and luxuries that I have right now. I worked hard for them. I went out there and I followed my personal dream. And I had the naysayers. And the top naysayers were my own family. Not my husband, but my own family. It hurt. It was hurtful. It was like really hurtful. It was really hurtful. But let me tell you, through the hurt, I kept on pursuing what it is that I felt called to do. Because it's my life. If you're not putting in the work, why are you having input? It's my life. If you're not financing me, Why do you have the input? Why am I giving you power over me? Why are your thoughts and opinions important to me? So, what we have to do in conclusion is we have to shut down the voice in our head when it pops up and starts telling us, you can't do it. This doesn't make any sense. What are the logistics behind it? Figure out the logistics. Do what it is that you want to do that's going to make you happy, that's going to make you feel fulfilled. You only have one life, you have a short time here on earth. Stop putting things on your bucket list that you're never going to do or that you might only do one thing. Live your life so that you can live your bucket list. Get out there, grind for it, work hard for it, get a work ethic, get some habits, set some goals, and get what it is that you want so that you can live the life that you want every day, so that you don't have to go on vacation in order to live your best life. To me, that's one of the biggest things, one of the biggest tricks. Yeah, work hard all year round at a job that you hate so that you can go on vacation for 1 week a year. What kind of sense does that make? Who wants to work all year to enjoy 1 week? I want to enjoy every week. I want to enjoy every single day. I want to wake up every morning and have the choice of what it is that I want to do. And let me tell you, if you start tomorrow, maybe by the end of the next couple years, 2, 3, 4 years, instead of being at a cubicle, at a desk where somebody's telling you when you can eat lunch, when you can go to the bathroom, at the end of 3 to 4 to 5 years, you can be your own boss in running a successful business, whatever that business may be, calling the shots, getting the glory, having the things, and living the life. Time is going to pass regardless. I think in super conclusion, I'm just going to say time is going to pass regardless. It's going to pass regardless. Where are you going to find yourself at the end of that time? Are you going to be the same person that you are today? Or are you going to find yourself in a better place, more accomplished, happier, healthier, wealthier? I had some years in my life where I actually looked up and I was in the same place I was in the year before. And it's a horrible feeling. There's nothing worse, in my opinion, than you are the same person you were the year before. There's been no growth. There's been no nothing, no excellence, nothing. You're just the same person. You just took up space. It's like you just took up space for a whole year. You didn't do anything with the precious time that you were given. Same thing. Just laying around, you're watching your TV, trying to make it to the next day, looking forward to your overpriced latte. That's the highlight of your day. What kind of life is that? We have to wake up. We have to wake up. We have to want more. It doesn't matter what more looks like for you. I'm not saying you have to be some kind of big time CEO or you have to be on TV or whatever. I'm just saying decide what the best version of yourself looks like. What do you really want to do? Who do you really want to be? How do you see yourself? You should have an image in your mind, a version of yourself, how you see yourself at your best. What you look like, what are you wearing, what are you driving, what neighborhood do you live in, what kind of furniture is inside of your house, what does your backyard look like, what does your pool look like, does it sparkle, do you have a fountain, what is your best version of the life you would like to live look like? And then I want you to think about it constantly. I want you to think deeply about it constantly until one day you wake up and you can't stand to live the same life you're living right now. You've got to go for that version of yourself. You've got to do it. You've got to know if you can do it. Because let me tell you something, if you fail, it's okay. It's okay if you fail. Because guess what? You can die knowing that you went for it, that you tried. You don't have regrets. Don't die with regret. If you go out there and you give it your all and it doesn't work, in my opinion, give it your all again. But if it doesn't work, at least you can say, you know what? I went out there and I did it. All of you people over here telling me it won't work and this and this and that. Have you tried to live your best life? Have you gone for it? Have you tried to be the best version of yourself? Chances are they haven't. And it's their fear that's trying to hold you back because they don't want you to be great, right? That's what a lot of people do. They try and pull you back and hold you back because they don't want you to be great. They don't want you to go somewhere that they're too afraid to go themselves. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people who will try and give you arguments and tell you why you shouldn't do it and why it's not going to work and all this other stuff. It's because they have personal fears. They have doubts. They have regret. And so they're going to impose those upon you. Some of them do it on purpose. A lot of people do it and they don't even know that they're doing it. Okay? But that's what people often do. So I want you to think about who you want to be. Why aren't you that person? What's holding you back? What's keeping you? What is holding you back? Break those barriers. Stop worrying about what people think, how they're going to view you. You know, some people think it's crazy that I have this wig on. Some people think it's crazy. What are you doing with this color wig? I like it. It makes me feel good. So I wear it. Don't worry about it. Do you think what people say to me bothers me or affects me? Not in the slightest, baby. Not in the slightest. So that's how you need to live your life. People used to tell me you have too many kids. Why? I'm not on welfare. You're not paying, your taxes aren't paying for my children. Don't worry about how many kids I have. People used to tell me this and that and everything else. Doesn't bother me. You're free country. You're free to have your own opinion. But that's not going to affect who I am and how I live and what I do and what I wear and how I look. It's not going to bother me. No self-doubt. No self-doubt. All gas, no brakes. All right. That's what I've got for you for tonight. All right. I hope you got something out of it. Thank you for watching. Love you all. Have an amazing night. Okay. And I will, Lord willing, see you tomorrow. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. We've got a lot of communication going on here on, this is, I want to say, are you guys on YouTube? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I get really confused about what phone I have doing what, but I'm going to say YouTube. So let me just see if there's anything that you guys have written that I need to um, address because I don't want to see like I'm ignoring you guys. Um, hello. Okay. Yes, children, and that is the goal, is for the state to raise our children. That is the goal. Make no mistake. That is what we're trending toward. State autonomy over our children. Yes. Um, oh, okay. Uh, all right. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. You know, somebody said, huh, We're all lazy. You know, I like to think of it as you know what you know, right? When you know better, you do better, right? Some people are lazy, but they don't necessarily know they're lazy. Some people are unmotivated, but they don't necessarily know they're unmotivated. um you know, everybody grows up in a different environment, right? I was blessed enough to grow up in an environment with a man who was a CEO, and he was a super boss, and he taught me all kinds of things, and so I saw all kinds of things that I know that most of my friends and my peers didn't. So I knew from a young age, like, how to perform, how to have a work ethic, how to go for what you want, not to let anybody intimidate you or boss you around, or take away your self-confidence or whatever. But there were a lot of friends that I had that were extremely who had extreme low self-esteem. And there are, growing up, being an adult, obviously at 51, I know a lot of women, and I speak to a lot of women on a regular basis that have very low self esteem. And what blows me away always is these are women who are super accomplished, like super accomplished. They've got their college degrees, and they've got their masters, and some of them have their doctorate, and they're super successful at work, and supervisors and boss ladies and everything. But outside of work and at home, they're super low self-esteem, and they put themselves in horrible relationships and situations and everything else because they have such low self-esteem. So you would be amazed how many people wear this veneer on the outside, that they're self-confident and they've got it all under control, and you're looking at them and you're like, wow, I really want to be like so and so. But really, they're completely fragile. And that's one of the things that I want to help people with, is being like it being the real deal. Like, it's not just a veneer that you wear on the outside. Like, you are really actually self confident. You believe in yourself. You understand that everything can be done. Somebody has done it already. Somebody with less resources, with less brains, with less beauty has done everything it is that you can possibly think of. And if they did it with less education, and if they with less money, everything less, 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 less. So if they did it, then obviously you can do it as well. It's your mind and your mindset that you're fighting. I'm telling you, so many people don't understand. It's your mind and your mindset that you're fighting. It's not that you can't do it. Um, okay. Uh, so when I speak, I just want people to understand that I'm not putting anybody down. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. Um, I truly believe that anybody and everybody who is hearing my voice can do anything that they want to do. I truly believe that. I don't care what your circumstances are. I don't care. I don't care what. One of my children, my oldest child, was born with special needs, and they didn't tell her. The doctors told me, now she has legitimate. I'm not going into what her issues are, but legitimate, extremely legitimate. And the doctors told me she's never going to walk, she's never going to run, she's not going to talk, she's not going to be able to take care of herself. And they wanted me to put her basically in a children's asylum. And that was what I was told for years. And you know what I said? I said, I'm not going to live forever. I'm not going to live forever. I'm going to make sure that this child is able to live independently. I believed. I believed. I believed that my child could do anything. And so, even though for years and years and years and years and years, the doctors told me this, that, blah, 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 I said, I'm going to teach her everything. Let me tell you, we took her to the park across the street from where we lived when she was little, and we would help her with the monkey bars, and we would go there every single night. And then I found this play. Basically, these were ex circus performers, and they had this alternative therapy, and it focused on, like balance beams and live the ropes, the high up ropes and stuff. Anyway, it was very, very unconventional, and I said, this I think this is brilliant, because she had mobility issues, and so I put her in that therapy. And ex circus performers helped teach her how to walk. And then we trained on how to run slowly but surely. My husband would race, with her. And going like this very slowly. But then she could run, she could run to a great degree after a while. So everything, point is, I taught her everything tirelessly, 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 year after year after year after year. And now I'm proud to say that if you were to meet her, you would not know that she has an impairment. Um, but my point being is, I don't believe in a doctor saying your child can't do such and such. I had a similar situation with another one of my children. You would never know if you met her. You would never know. So I'm really, when I tell people you can do it, I speak from a place of, yeah, I taught my kids to do it when everybody said they couldn't do it. Oh, you shouldn't try that, and you shouldn't push that, and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm coming from a place of, I've seen it, I've been there, and I'm here to tell you that you can do it and you can achieve. So please don't ever see my lives and think, oh, she's just heartless and she's just nasty. And no, I'm just like, you can do it. Get out there and grind and get it. If you want it, then go out and get it. Get it. Go for it. All right. So now I'm really going. Bye, y'all. Okay. Night. Night.